I think the first big takeaway, and this was one of the early games, are, Paul Skenes had that, meltdown of a first inning. He only pitched one inning. Obviously O'Neal Cruz, I believe. I definitely saw the one fly ball that he dropped in center field. I heard it was even two, but I wasn't watching the game, so I can't verify that. But just a nightmare of a first inning. The Mets go up 5-0 in that inning. Pirates fight back a little bit throughout the game, but they do lose 11-7. That Mets lineup is scary though. And obviously, again, Paul Skeens dominates everybody. So to see him give up 5 runs, that's a little like, ooh, watch out. But the Mets, I think, are a really good team. And they're going to be contenders all year long. They put in tons of money. And I think that offense showed. Yesterday. So a rough start for the Pirates, and a rough start for the supposed, not supposedly, he's a beast, but like, a rough start for like their one good player, one elite player, Paul Skeens, but I think the Mets are just that dominant. They're going to be good this year. Um, then what else happened? The Tigers, a very good start to the season from them. They're going into San Diego, a very good team, a playoff caliber team. You're coming off, a very great year last year. Ended the regular season a little bit poorly, but then picked it up in the playoffs. But eventually, of course, losing to the Mariners in the divisional round and a very interesting series, especially that game five. But my point is, they've had a lot of they had a lot of success last year. Can they continue it? And all signs point to yesterday. The answer is yes. Tariq Skubal deal. They got to the Padres early and they looked really good. How about the Nationals? I think the Nationals upsetting the Cubs on opening day. I don't think a lot of people would have predicted that. Not only upsetting them, pretty much demolishing them 10-4 at Wrigley Field opening day. The Nationals are a team who have sort of bottomed out. They haven't made a ton of moves, but last year I think they were bottom five in the league in terms of record. But again, some young, exciting players on that team, so we'll see how they keep going. But that was a big upset. And then we'll just quick mention my White Sox. Again, it's so hard to take information from game one, but yikes, the pitching is rough. Shane Smith, it- I like the guy, but he had a good start to last year, and that's why he got that All-Star nod. People see the All-Star next to his name, and they think he's better than he is because Shane Smith, he's decent. I'm not calling him a scrub, but he is definitely mid-level. He was not worthy of an opening day start. I don't know who it should have been, but I don't think it should have been him. And I think we saw that he got pulled after an inning and two-thirds, and then the bullpen for the Sox. Yikes. But again, Milwaukee's a really good team too. So it's definitely some splashes opening day by some contenders and definitely a surprise win by the Nationals for sure.